All right, here we go. Question number 6 from our Precalculus homework number 1 in MyLab Math. Here they want us to find the domain of the given function. And over here on the right, I've written some notes. If you want to find the domain, which are the values that x can be, sometimes you have to consider if there are any restrictions on the function. In other words, are there any x's that cannot be allowed for certain reasons? And then once you know the restrictions, then you can get the domain. So our given function is a rational function. That means we have a fraction with variables in the denominator. We know that a rational function has the restriction that the denominator cannot be 0. So what we're going to focus on first is finding the restriction. So the restriction says that the denominator cannot be 0. So if I solve this equation for x, then I'll know what x can't be. We're going to solve by factoring. Here we have the difference of two squares, where we can factor that as x plus 4, x minus 4. And then we're going to set each factor equal to 0, or in this case, not equal to 0. Moving the 4 over, we get x cannot be negative 4. And if we move the negative 4 over, we get x cannot be 4. So here we know the restrictions. X cannot be 4 or negative 4, but guess what? X can be anything else. So there are two ways to express this domain. First, in set notation, we will say the set of all x such that x cannot be negative 4 or 4. There is your domain in set notation. Notice that the instructions ask for interval notation. So our interval notation is going to start at negative infinity. Remember, x can be anything, any real number, except for 4 and negative 4. So we'll start at negative infinity and go to negative 4, but we're not allowed to include negative 4, so we need a parenthesis and then a union symbol. This is like saying we're going to skip negative 4, we're going to jump over him and keep going to 4. And then we're going to have to stop at 4, skip over 4, and keep going from 4 to infinity. Okay? So there the domain for this particular function is going to be everything from negative infinity to infinity except negative 4 and 4. And you will need to put all of this in the answer box. So that's going to take a little bit of typing. Parenthesis, negative, infinity, comma, negative 4, close. We do have a union symbol from the toolbar, and then we're going to pick up at negative 4 and keep going to 4. We're going to skip over 4 and keep going to infinity. And fingers crossed. Yes, there's the domain and interval notation. And that's it for that problem. So if you have any questions or comments about anything that I covered, please feel free to leave those in the comment section below. Or you can text me. And thanks for watching.